I noticed this week that it has been exactly 1 year since I gave my TED Talk here in London, and I've been just thinking about all the crazy things that have changed since that fateful day here in Clapham where I gave my talk, how I left millions in banking to inspire millions online. I quoted Joe Rogan, I quoted Dan Pena, and so many other people. I talked about Neil deGrasse Tyson, my journey, all the other reels from all around the world that have sprung up, like Vancouver Reel and Beijing Reel and Toronto Reel. And it was a real life-changing moment for me because I remember I came into the studio the next day, so that would have been a Sunday, and I put out a video called How to Ace Your TED Talk, and I put out a video saying, do you bleed London Real? And at the time at London Real, we had a staff of about a half a person, including me, and it was just time to step my game up, and I was looking for someone to come in and help us step our game up. And now, a year later, we've got a team of probably 10 people, maybe 12, and everything has changed. The academy's opened. We're offering digital coursework. We're offering our Business Accelerator program, our How to Ace Your TED Talk program. I'll talk about that later. And so much is changing. We're on television, and it's kind of incredible to see what kind of happened. But, you know, that TED Talk was a big moment for me because I had released probably 300 hours of footage before that on London Real, and yet this 16 minutes was easily the most important video I've ever made. And it's kind of counterintuitive because you wouldn't think that it would just be that piece that got my message across, but it actually was. And so it made me realize that when you have a really condensed message about yourself that you give with emotion, that people get it because they're bombarded with so much all the time that they need to really be emoted and then really learn something and then make a connection. And that's what happened with my TED Talk. And I got calls and messages from people I hadn't heard of, from people from high school, from classmates from MIT, from everyone saying, Brian, congratulations. I didn't understand what you were doing before. Now I get it. People in the banking industry that thought I had lost my mind, because I probably have, were like, wow, Brian, I really get what you're doing. Before I just thought you were on YouTube and doing webcam stuff, but there's a real mission and a message to what you're doing. And so it really opened up a lot of doors, and a lot of the partnerships we have today and some of our joint venture and business deals came from that TED Talk. And still, we had a guest last week that said, Brian, it's your TED Talk. That's why I'm here. That was the largest residential property owner in the UK, worth 100 million pounds. Kevin Green said that. So it continues to be one of my most important pieces of media, and it's a big asset for me, and it will be the rest of my life. People will always know me by that TED Talk. It's about to hit 200,000 views, and it'll just keep going. And so I remember I came back and I tried to make an argument for how everyone should give a TED Talk, because I think it's really important, and I think everyone has a TED Talk in them. And I think the process of writing it allows you to figure out what's your passion, what's your angle on the world, and what do you have to contribute to this world. And I think that's really important, and we all have something to contribute. That's why I believe we all have a TED Talk in us. I really do. And some people think that TED Talks are for Bill Gates and for Elon Musk, and that's BS. It's just not true. I've seen TED Talks given by Magnus Walker, one of our guests, who looks like a guy with dreadlocks that fixes up Porsches for a living, but it's called Go With Your Gut, and you really just get to understand what he's about and how he is as a man. There are sometimes 3-minute TED Talks and 6-minute TED Talks. There's TED Talk from firefighters. There's TED Talks from 10-year-olds. And they all have something to say, because the format itself, it's a non-ego driven, non-marketing, promotional type piece where you have to give a concise synopsis of who you are as a person. It's almost like a comedy routine, a real tight piece of video. And so I really encourage everyone to do it. And these days, there are multiple TED Talks happening every single day around the world with their TEDx brand. So you literally can book one. You just have to put the time in. And again, I think it's like writing a book. And as our good friend Daniel Priestley says, once you publish, you get a lot of your ideas in your head down on paper, and you can actually move on to other ideas. And I definitely did that, because I had thoughts about what makes a tribe, about how you really have to overcome resistance, how you have to do things for your own passion and not for the approval of your friends and family, and how you ultimately have to step up and get things done yourself. And until you do that, you're just resisting a fear of failure, a fear of success, and all these other pieces. So it's so important that you do that. And now that we are now designing and creating our How to Ace Your TED Talk course right now that we're going to be giving for just a select member of 10 people at London Real Academy, I'm actually learning more about the process of what it takes to create a gripping TED Talk. And I'm working with the guy that curated and hosted my TED Talk, Alex Mary, who I really credit with making my talk amazing. Without him, I think mine would have been ordinary, but with him, I think my talk was quite extraordinary. And so he's going to be working with me, with 10 individuals, with live calls twice a week. We're doing the same thing on Business Accelerator. So you see me for an hour on Tuesday night and an hour on Sunday night, and I give you feedback. I'm like, this is good, this is awesome, this isn't good enough, let's work on it. And for 10 weeks, you're going to be asked to record videos until you get something tight and something you can literally go on a TED stage and deliver and become a key person of influence. And I'm telling you, that TED Talk gets you indoors. It gets you jobs. It gets you paid more money in whatever profession you're in. It gets you associated with joint ventures. It gets people want to do products with you, and it really opens the door up, because so many people are scared to do it and they think they can't, when in fact they can. It's really public speaking on steroids is what it is. And if you want to get into public speaking, Toastmasters is great, but a TED Talk is really a great way to get it and capture it and own it, and then move on. Maybe do a second or third TED Talk. I've got Julian Treasure on the show recently, whose book is called Sound Business, who's given 5 TED Talks, 30 million views combined. Esther Perel, guest on the show, 3 TED Talks. We've got so many TED Talks, it's not even funny. So that's my thought of the week. Go out there, do a TED Talk. If you don't have to do it with us by any means, but just go out there, expose yourself. Academy members like Akash Dakar gave one about the sound business of video games. He did it in Seattle in front of a huge audience of like 2,000 people. He killed it. My good friend and movement trainer Roger Frampton just gave one here in the UK. Amazing as well. So all my friends are doing this. We all know this is important, and I hope you do it too. If you want our help or you want to be involved, come on our website or click on the link below and apply for our How to Ace Your TED Talk course. But either way, please go and do it. We might be doing a webinar next month where I'll just share with you some of my tips to help you get on your way. And that's it, baby. It's about the journey. I'm going back in the studio. We got so much stuff going on, but it's all good. Catch us every morning on London Live Television here in the UK at 7 a.m. We're going to be going on for a few more weeks, it looks like. Great episodes. London Real Comment coming straight at you. And that's it. Beautiful London. I love you, and I'm out of here.